Oh my God. All right, man. Let's talk about this game, man. Let's chop it up about this game. Um, let's chop it up about this game. All right, man. Here's the numbers. Here are the numbers. The Washington Mystics shot 35%. The Sun shot 41%. So it wasn't like the Sun were in any way spectacular in nature. Okay? They weren't spectacular in nature in any way. And so that's number one. This wasn't some spectacular performance by the Sun. This was a horrendous effort by the Washington Mystics. Horrendous effort. Connecticut Sun beat the Washington Mystics 68-57. I have to wonder, is that the lowest scoring game in the WNBA this year? I'm going to check. I'm curious. Is that the fewest amount of points a team has scored in the WNBA this year? This is a team that was 7 minutes away from having won 4 straight with back-to-back wins over the Minnesota Lynx. And from the moment this guy, why even use his name anymore? This guy, from the moment this guy took out Lauren Betts in that game, they have been otherworldly horrible. Horrible. They blew that game. He put back in Shakira. Shakira, quite frankly, isn't very good. She ruins flow. She ruins tempo. And this isn't me taking shots at Shakira. Understand, these are shots at the coach, because the coach is who puts this shit together. Sydney Johnson puts this shit together. This is 1,000% on Sydney Johnson, because he's the one that's supposed to decide how you run an offense. He runs his offense through one of the worst ball handlers in the league, and that is Shakira Austin. He runs his offense through a player who turns the ball over like crazy. Like crazy. It's unacceptable. She doesn't make up for it any which way. And he's running it through her. Okay, the lowest scoring game of this year has been Seattle. They had 56. So the Mystics had 57. So this is the second lowest scoring game of the season. This is an abomination. This is an abomination. How do you perform this way? And this is a game in which they got 14 points out of Georgia Amore. Like, you can't tell me that if you get 14 points out of Georgia Amore, that you're going to score 57 points. Georgia Amore was responsible for 25% of their offense tonight. Of their offense. This is wholly unacceptable. Michaela Onyenwere, I'm giving you some numbers. 4 points, 1 for 5, 4 turnovers. And yet, she's in the game in the last 5 minutes. Kiki Irvin, 11 points, 5 of 11, 14 rebounds. Solid. You need to shoot more. Shakira Austin, 6 points, 2 of 7, 12 rebounds, 1 assist, 7 turnovers. If you want someone to pass Caitlin Clark in turnovers, Shakira Austin might be the one. Because she has put up these 5, 6, 7 turnover games already 3 or 4 times this year. She is horrible. Horrible. And I don't blame her. Because she has no post skills. None. I'm ignoring your comment there, Sports Oracle. I'm ignoring it because I'm doing a recap. No post skills. It's the same move over and over and over again. And you get the same goddamn result. She might make it once in a while, but more often than not, the shot gets blocked. She misses. It doesn't go well. 7 turnovers. Why is the ball in her hands so much? And her turnovers are largely steals. She turns the ball over passing the ball. Like, it gets stolen. She had the one that, you could blame Onyenwere for that went through her hands. But you held the ball for 7, 8 seconds. Sonia Citron. By the way, Shakira Austin, minus 21. They lost by 9. So they were plus 12 when she was not on the floor. They were plus 12. I'm gagging on this. This is ridiculous. They were plus 12 when she wasn't in the game. And you thought it made sense to put her back in the game. You thought it made sense to put her back in the game in a 3-point game? After you guys crept back in, took the lead, yeah, you were down 3, you put her back in. To do what exactly? And the first thing she does is turn the rock over. She turned the ball over 2 more times in the final 5 minutes. Sonia Citron had 28 against Minnesota. Tonight, 11 points, 2 of 10, 0 for 4 from 3. If it wasn't for the free throw line, Sonia Citron's stat line would be an abomination. 3 assists, 2 turnovers, 6 boards. Georgia Amore, man, hey, hats off. But let's be real. Amore came out hot and then really cooled off. Because she finished with 14, 5 of 10, 4 of 9 from 3, 5 assists, 4 turnovers. Again, you got 15 turnovers between 3 players. Onyenwere, Austin, and Amore. Off the bench, you get nothing. Dugalish has 2 in 8 minutes. McMahon got 4 points in 24 minutes. She was 1 of 4. Lauren Betts, when she's on the court tonight, they're plus 10. 2 for 5, 5 points, 6 boards, 2 assists. Lauren Betts does not have to score points to have an impact on this team. You shouldn't have her 26 feet from the rim. 26 feet from the rim, but she has an impact just being on the court. You shot 35% from the floor, 28% from 3, 56% from the free throw line, 14 of 25. You out-rebound them 45-27. And you lose by 11 points. Because they took 13 more shots than you did. Because you got free throws. And you turned it over 21 times. 21 turnovers to 9. Against a Connecticut team that's missing 2 starters. And they only got called for 15 fouls as a team. 15 total fouls as a team. Connecticut called for 20. Connecticut. Diamond Miller goes for 4. Brittany Griner has 10. She's in foul trouble the entire game. Olivia Nelson had played 29 minutes. She had 12 points, 6 to 12, 9 boards, 3 blocks. I thought she had more blocks than that because that girl was dominant tonight. She whooped their ass. She took Shakira Austin to the cleaners. She took her to the cleaners tonight. Charlize Ledger-Walker hits a couple of big threes. She had a real big three in the fourth quarter. 4 of 9. 5 assists. You get 12 out of Lila Lacan. 4 of 10. 5 assists. 4 steals. They had 12 steals. Aaliyah Edwards gives you 6 off the bench. Kennedy Burke gives you 11 off the bench. You get 3 from Reagan Beers, and that's your scoring. They shoot 41%. Not great at all. 42% from 3. Better. 5 of 12. Only took 10 free throws. And you have a 13-0 run that gives you a 1-point lead in the fourth quarter, and you immediately blow it. You were 7 minutes away from having 4 straight wins. 7 minutes away from 4 straight wins. And instead, you get this. I mean, what do you say? What do you say to this shit? And this guy's going to have no answers. He's going to say that they're young. He's going to be proud of them because they fought back. That was the worst team in the league, minus 2 starters. That's the worst team in the league, minus 2 starters. What are you proud of? What can you possibly be proud of? What the hell is there to be proud of when you look like that? Outside of about 5 minutes of action, your team was horrible the entire game. Horrible. Embarrassing. Embarrassing performance. This was dreadful basketball. Dreadful. I don't have the word. I am floored. And Lauren Betts never came back in the game. She never came back in. Last game, he tried to save it by putting her back in along with McMahon, but it was too late. The floodgates had opened. He failed miserably to defend Olivia Miles with double teams. He let her get off. This guy is bad, bro. And he's going to come in here and he's going to say how proud he was of their fight and all that bullshit, when the reality is they look like shit for literally fucking 90% of the game. They look like shit. They look terrible. They look terrible. It's so frustrating, man. It's so frustrating. It's frustrating. The guy his sub patterns are so inconsistent. They're all over the place. You never know what you're going to get from game to game. You don't have a clue. You play Lucy Olsen for 4 minutes. I'm not saying Lucy Olsen makes any difference whatsoever. None. I'm not saying anything about that. But he doesn't know what he wants to do. It's like every game is another experiment. Every game is another experiment to see what might work. You know what? Sometimes you got to leave people like Citrone on the bench because you brought her back in because she wasn't part of the run. She could have sat her ass on the bench. She wasn't doing shit today. The lineup could have been the rest of the game. Amor, Iriafin, McMahon, Betts, and Onyenwere. And Onyenwere sucked, but she was on the floor in that run. That was a dog shit embarrassing performance. Embarrassing performance. And now you got to go back and wonder aloud what this team is. And the excuse will be they're young. They're young. They're young. Oh, no, they're young. Okay, they're young. And what? Perform. Because they're young, Connecticut sucks. Connecticut's terrible. An awful basketball team. That's all I got to say about that game. When do they return to the court? I don't even know. Am I watching? Nah, I don't. I'm watching bare knuckle fighting. I don't care about the Dreaming Valkyries. They play Portland on Sunday at 3 p.m. I have to make a decision if I want to watch that shit or not. I don't even know. If my wife might not be here, so I might be watching it. I don't know.